During investigations into the Titanic wreck, internal maps revealed something rarely discussed: entire corridors that never appeared in passenger accounts. Below the main deck, far from the illuminated salons, there were technical routes used only by the crew, and one of them was almost never mentioned. Between boilers, cargo holds, and heat-soaked steel walls, a passage remained outside the public eye for more than a century. Today, we follow this forgotten path to understand how the Titanic truly worked from the inside, and why these corridors became critical on the night of the impact. Before we enter this hidden labyrinth, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us through the end of this historical investigation. While passengers move through bright, silent salons, another ship operates just below. The Titanic's internal design keeps service out of sight. Narrow corridors, technical doors, and secondary stairways allow the crew to move quickly without disturbing first class. The system delivers efficiency, control, and the illusion of constant calm. The crew's routine follows strict schedules. Kitchens, laundries, and mailrooms run like a continuous machine. Each department depends on specific internal routes, preventing bottlenecks and delays. Service stairways and numbered doors regulate the human flow that keeps the ship running without visible interruption. Inside, the Titanic functions like a three-dimensional map. Discrete signs, coded doors, and stacked levels connect critical areas. The crew learns these paths through repetition. To outsiders, the corridors look identical. To those who work here, every turn signals purpose, rank, and destination. Below the salons, the Titanic operates as a network of internal routes. Curved corridors follow the hull. Watertight doors and service stairs link kitchens, pantries, and lifts. The crew memorizes these paths to keep the rhythm unseen. A working ship exists alongside the luxury ship. From the pantry, service elevators carry food and china upward without crossing passenger corridors. There are unspoken rules: stop at the right levels, keep doors closed, yield to cargo. Everything is done so the decks above always appear clean, calm, and controlled. Farther down, the logic changes. Coal, steam, and human strength. Corridors lead to bunkers and boiler rooms, where heat is constant and the air carries soot. Here, the ship reveals its industrial core. Every watertight door and stairway exists to separate power, pressure, and risk. The engine room and boilers demand constant movement. Parallel routes carry tools, oil, and messages between compartments without stopping heavy work. Discipline is quiet here. No delays, doors ready to seal, priorities respected. Efficiency depends on knowing the ship as a system, not a hallway. Cargo and storage follow their own circuit. Crates, ropes, and supplies move through internal hatches and cooler corridors near the hull. Heavy doors close automatically, sealing compartments. For the crew, these limits are routine, but they also define where bottlenecks form when something goes wrong. Closer to heat and cargo, the ship feels like an industrial maze. Some connections exist for maintenance and shortcuts, but they're rarely used. They pass through stifling spaces, soot-covered walls, and heavy doors. For most, the risk isn't worth it. For those who know, it saves minutes and changes decisions. Between the hot zones and the cargo holds lies a little used technical shortcut. It shortens distances but cuts through airless, difficult spaces. Only maintenance crews know the full route. Here, the ship reveals its most industrial side. Follow the channel and stay with us to see how these corridors shaped critical decisions. This shortcut was built for maintenance, not constant traffic. It links critical sections of the ship but demands familiarity with heat, steel, and watertight doors. Most avoid it. For those who know it well, it saves precious minutes, if everything works as designed. Few talk about this corridor because it was never meant for comfort. Heat, soot, and heavy doors test anyone who enters. Still, it remains on the ship's internal map as a last resort option, a path that exists only while steel, steam, and power remain under control. The impact doesn't sound like an explosion. It arrives as subtle change. The hull's vibration shifts. Tools sway. The sound of water against steel changes pitch. The response begins below, checking compartments, feeling the hull, confirming what was hit. Without alarm, orders begin to move. Watertight doors must close. Levels are checked. Lanterns distributed. Technical corridors take on a new role, connecting isolated zones. Communication happens through movement, gestures, and presence as the ship starts to behave differently.
Take this down to E deck, mister, and be quick about it.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Chief.
At the lowest levels, water appears first as sound and reflection. Thin streams slip through drains and hull seams. The list increases almost unnoticed. What were once shortcuts become routes for warnings and equipment before doors seal shut. As water advances, doors close in sequence. Some routes vanish from the ship's functional map. Others emerge as improvised alternatives. The crew turns to forgotten corridors to buy time, while the hull answers with creaks, tilt, and growing silence.
This way. We must hurry.
As the ship lists, orientation shifts. Corridors feel longer. Doors grow heavier. Water turns silence into constant pressure. A system built for efficiency now decides who can move forward and who must turn back. When water reaches technical areas, the shortcut loses its purpose. Direct connections are broken by sealed doors and flooded levels. Steam escapes from heated pipes, clouding visibility. A path designed for maintenance fails under a real emergency. Steam and water turn the space into a series of choke points. Narrow stairs and heavy doors slow every step. Lighting fails where it's needed most. The shortcut, once predictable, now demands risky detours through barely tested routes. As the level rises, the shortcut stops being an option. Doors seal in sequence, and the tilt changes the effort required to climb. Space compresses, forcing the crew to abandon familiar paths and improvise new ones inside the hull. What once saved time now blocks return. The shortcut closes behind them, claimed by water and steam. What remains are longer routes, narrow stairs, and fast decisions. The ship exposes its internal failures as time begins to run out.
Everybody follow me, let's go!
As water advances, corridors stop being pathways and become obstacles. Lights fail, the hull groans, the level rises minute by minute. The crew must run, choose alternate stairways, and abandon tools. Every delay seals a route behind them. The ship responds with cascading failures. Lights go dark, doors jam, stairways become choke points, water reshapes priorities. The crew guides one another with quick gestures and improvised routes through the interior of the hull.
Forget it! We have to go left! Move!
Move! Grab the railing and keep climbing! Go! Go! Go!
Space collapses into seconds and feet. Every sealed door erases an option. Water rises, heavy, silent. Only narrow stairs and improvised passages remain, where helping someone else means slowing your own escape. The labyrinth reaches its limit. Lower routes vanish underwater, forcing everyone upward. What remains are final choices: help, climb, or stay behind to clear the way for others. Time is no longer abstract. When the machines fall silent, the ship stops being motion and becomes structure. Water fills corridors, stairs, and passages that once sustained the Titanic's life. Far from the luxury salons, these spaces remain intact in darkness. The Titanic rests not only in history's visible decks, but in this unseen world locked below.